What do I think would be Dr. Zayne's favorite show? Snowdrop. Don't tell me you picked Snowdrop! God damn! Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Rara's K-pop spot. 안녕하세요 친구들. 내 채널에 다시 오신 것을 환영합니다. 이곳은 라라의 K-pop spot. I have been playing Love and Deepspace for about 7 months now, I think. And what is Love and Deepspace if you have never ever heard of it? The TLDR is that it is an action role-playing game that you play from your phone, and apparently it is the first 3D otome game ever. I literally did not know what otome even meant before coming to film this video, so I had to look it up. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right, but apparently it can be defined as a genre of video games targeted at a female audience that features a female protagonist romancing one or more male love interests. These games are often text-based with a focus on romance and storytelling. In Love and Deepspace, you do get to design your main character, and she does have the option to form relationships with all 5 of the male characters. But to me, when I'm playing, the romance truly does feel like a subplot compared to the lore of Love and Deepspace and like Lincoln City and the Deep Space Rift and your job as a hunter and the fights with the Wanderers. All of those storytelling components are way more compelling to me than the romance aspect, but the romance aspect does make it kind of fun. If you are a reader of the romantasy genre, I think that you would enjoy Love and Deepspace. There's a lot of overlap between, I think, like a heavy fantasy element and then also having the option to romance the male characters. So it's very fun. And I bet you're wondering, Rara, why are we talking about lads on Rara's K-pop spot? How does this relate? I'm so glad that you asked. The longer that I have been playing lads, the more that I've noticed a heavy crossover with my mutuals online who are also fans of K-pop and enjoying playing Love and Deepspace. Like the correlation, strong positive correlation I have noticed between being a fan of K-pop and playing lads in your free time. So that brings us to why we are here today. I have been trying to figure out a way to work lads into my channel for the last several months when it doesn't necessarily directly pertain to K-pop. Please see the first instance where I referenced it in my K-pop Demon Hunters video. Aside from the K-pop Demon Hunters video where I referenced lads, I wasn't really sure how to incorporate lads into my channel until I remembered that I have free will. And I can choose to talk about my special interests however I want to on my channel, and I can choose to relate them to each other however I want to, because it's my brain and my life and my channel. And ultimately, this is my channel where I talk about my special interests and the things that make me happy, and I can decide to relate them to each other however I want to, in whatever ways that make me happy, because that is the whole point of Rara's K-pop spot. I've always felt that Rara's K-pop spot is like my personal video diary, so without further ado, I present to you Rara's K-pop spots, lads x K-pop x drama crossover extravaganza. I am a visual learner and I appreciate a visual element. So today I am going to be joined by my sister, who is also a fan of lads and K-pop and other Korean media content. And we have made a poster board where we have, independent of one another, gone through and we have listed for the 5 male characters from lads who we think would be their favorite K-pop group, who would be their bias from that group, what would be their favorite song from their favorite group, and what do we think they're watching as far as dramas. I have no idea what she put on her list. She has no idea what I put on my list. This is all just entirely for fun, and because I was sitting around and I was thinking about like, oh, well, how can I incorporate lads into my channel? What would be a fun video idea? And my sister loves a good craft. She jumped at the opportunity to help make the poster board. We went to the Dollar Tree this morning and we were like, okay, let's just make it happen. I genuinely hope that this video reaches its target audience. And if you're watching and you also are a fan of lads and you also listen to K-pop and watch dramas, then please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, because this was a lot of fun for us to put together and I would love to know what other people think. Hello! Okay, we are here now with the poster board and with my sister SJ. And now I am the green sticky notes and SJ is the blue sticky notes, and we're going to go through one character at a time and we're going to reveal what we each put for their favorite group and bias, song, and drama, show, movie, whatever. Starting with Xavier. I think that Xavier's favorite group is Tomorrow by Together, and I think that his bias would be Taehan.
I also said Tomorrow by Together and Taehan. However, I do think his bias record would be Hyunin Kai.
I specifically said that I think that Xavier, his old group, would be Tomorrow by Together because I think that he would be a big fan of the Starseeker lore. I think that since Xavier's myth is supposed to be he's an alien?
Well, yes, but he's more so a prince from a faraway planet.
Right.
Or a king.
Right.
Prince.
He comes from a different planet, and I think that for that reason, he would be really deeply invested in the Starseeker lore.
The reason I chose Tomorrow by Together is because I think that their music style fits his sort of aesthetic the most. Like, sort of, he can be this very, like, fast, intimidating, like, badass wanderer hunter. However, he's, like, the softest of the characters to me. He's just, like, this very, like, boyfriend, very, like, comfy vibes. And I think that that is Tomorrow by Together all day long. So, that is why I chose Tomorrow by Together. And I chose Taehan specifically because I feel like Xavier would see himself in Taehan the most.
That's why I picked him too!
Very strong and silent type.
Softy on the inside. Maybe sometimes appears cold on the outside, but it's actually very soft and cute on the inside.
I agree. That's crazy though.
I know. Of all of the groups and all of the members, that's funny. What do I think would be Xavier's favorite TXT song? Farewell Neverland. Because I think that it would remind him of where he's from a little bit, and I think he did have to kind of give up a lot and say goodbye to a lot and give up his childhood in a way whenever he came to Lincoln City and Earth. Does this take place on Earth?
Yes.
Okay. Whenever he came to Earth.
Yes.
So that was why I picked Farewell Neverland as his favorite song.
I think differently. Quote me, I think his favorite song would be Crown.
I almost put Crown.
It's a little ironic, but I chose Crown because Prince lore, and I think that it not only is it kind of like a double entendre with Crown and he's a prince, but I think that the lyrics, if you look at the English translated lyrics, I think that they are very fitting for him. I do think that he also really loves Over the Moon. I think Xavier was very excited when Star Chapter Sanctuary came out. I think that he ate that whole comeback up, and so that is sort of like a more recent hit for him.
What do I think Xavier's favorite show would be? Exclusive Fairy Tale, which is a C-drama. I realize that's not a K-drama. I picked Exclusive Fairy Tale because Xavier is the very first male character that you're introduced to at your actual graduation to like become a hunter and like become part of the Hunters Association. So I get the sense that, you know, you have that kind of academic link to Xavier a little bit. And I think that he would enjoy Exclusive Fairy Tale for that reason because of the kind of academic connection to the NC. And he watches K-pop Demon Hunters as his guilty pleasure.
Which is funny because I said K-pop Demon Hunters would be his favorite just because he literally is like the Wander Hunter. Like he is like hunter through and through. And so K-pop Demon Hunters, it's like a crossover between everything he loves. Yeah. K-pop and hunting like demons. So K-pop Demon Hunters. 100p is his thing.
Genius, actually. That's brilliant.
Thank you.
I like that there were so many similarities that we were
crazy.
thinking so many of the same things for Xavier.
Crazy.
Now we're moving on to Dr. Zayne.
Zayne.
I think that Zayne's favorite group would be 17. And I think that his bias would be Ming Hao, but he has a heavy DK record. And he would never ever admit it, but he is also a Harangan. So I put Harangan. I think that Zayne's favorite group is 17 because he loves the variety content. I think that Zayne would secretly really love watching 17 variety content, so that is why I think that 17 is his favorite group. I think that Ming Hao is his bias because Ming Hao is a very quiet, stoic type. He has a lot of like self-control with his meditation, and he really values ceremony and tradition with his tea ceremonies, and I think that those are values that Zayne would also share. But I think that DK would be his wrecker because DK is like so completely energetically the opposite of Zayne, and I think that that would draw Zayne
that goes
in.
Along with Harangue cult as well.
Yes.
That's very...
Yeah, for sure. You won't catch Zayne doing the Harangue sign, however.
In like photo shoot mode though, I could totally see him like pulling that. I hate us. I also put 17. I swear this was not planned. Zayne really, I think 17 is the perfect fit for him because he is more, how do I say this? He's more like haunted than like Xavier or say like TXT. Like they all have their demons, right? But I feel like Zayne is a little more, like when I think of songs that really move you and songs that really speak to you, I think of 17. And so 17 is his alt group. However, Zayne is getting out of Blackpink all day long. All day long. He's a Blink through and through. He doesn't want anyone to know though, except for MC. MC's the only one who is allowed to know that he's a Blink. So his bias is Wanu. And because I just feel like they are, they would be best friends. But he has also got a thing for Jisoo. We all do, but
I think that Zayne's favorite 17 song would also be my favorite 17 song, which is Run to You from Director's Cut. I think that this would be his favorite song because the instrumentals he would definitely really enjoy, but I think the message of the song would also make him a little bit emo.
I think a little bit differently. I think it would be Kiddo.
Oh,
again, this is the 17 song for me. Just like Run to You is hers. Because you know, like Zayne helped her when they were both so young. And that's sort of like the whole like tortured sort of dynamic between the two of them. And so I think Kiddo kind of has that little bit of like, we're both still like so young at heart and we have this sort of thing together, but you know, we're growing up. And then I also think that he would really like Shadow because not only does he have that sort of like Shadow Mist thing going on with like his Evol and the whole like lore with his myth and everything, but I also just think that like, just the message of Shadow, yeah.
What do I think would be Dr. Zayne's favorite show? Snowdrop. Don't tell me you picked Snowdrop! God damn! I think he picked Snowdrop originally just because he saw the title and he was like, that matches my Evol, let's do it. But then he stuck around and it became his favorite because of the emotional turmoil.
I think he said, oh, Jisoo's starring in Snowdrop? Say less. And then he stuck around for the story. I think Im Suho is totally Zayne in the fact that like he needs to protect MC the way that Suho feels like he needs to be protective of her, and so I just feel like they have that sort of connection, MC and Zayne. Like Zayne feels this need to protect MC even though she maybe doesn't realize how much she actually needs him in her life, sort of, and I feel like that's very much the dynamic. So I think he sees himself a lot in that show.
I do also think that Dr. Zayne is watching K-pop Demon Hunters as a guilty pleasure. Next we have artist Rafayel. I think that Rafayel's favorite group maybe is cheating. I do think that his favorite group would be XG, specifically because I think that he would find their styling and concepts very visually artistic, and I think he would really appreciate that. I think that Kokona would be his bias because I think that he would see her as his muse. She's very original and very unique and not afraid to like really step outside of the box.
Push the envelope.
Yeah, I think he would really appreciate that. So I think that Kokona would be his bias. I do also think that he very heavily stands extraordinary heroes because once again he sees the way that they play their instruments as an art form and he really appreciates that.
That was almost like philosophic. That was a really good deep cut right there. I think that his alt group would be Twice. If you're thinking that he's getting down with a boy group, that's fine. There are several groups that I could see the case being made. Rafayel is like girl groups only for me personally. I think he stands Twice the most, but I also think he's in love with IU. But that being said, I think his bias from Twice is Momo. Because she gets up on that stage and she absolutely, you can't look anywhere else. So
Rafayel's favorite song by XG is If You Know, You Know. Just because I think that he would jam out to it, 100%.
Rafayel is, I think, one of the most misinterpreted or misunderstood Lads characters. I think people see him as like one sort of flat sort of character when he has a lot of depth to him. I will say he's not personally like one of the characters that I follow his lore the deepest, but that being said, he is shaking it to What Is Love. Because also like what is love? What is love? I want to know. That's Rafayel.
What show do I think Rafayel is watching? Business Proposal. And he's also enjoying K-pop Demon Hunters as a guilty pleasure.
I can't stand you.
I think that Rafayel would enjoy Business Proposal because I think that he would just really love the no thoughts, head empty, fluffy vibes of it. And he got very excited when he learned that An Hyosuk was voicing Jinu in K-pop Demon Hunters. He got very excited about the crossover.
I have a feeling that this little plus K-pop Demon Hunters is going to be on all of them. I think Rafayel's favorite show actually is a movie, and it's Train to Busan. He's very girly pop, except when it comes to like media he's consuming, and he's like, you're one of those people that's like, I am not expecting that your favorite movie or show is Train to Busan, but it is. He's just like girly pop all day long until it's like, actually I prefer gore. That's him.
I can actually see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sylus.
I do think that Silas's favorite group would be Stray Kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that his bias is Bang Chan. However, I do think that he would really enjoy Youngji because I think that she would amuse him. But I think that Stray Kids is his favorite group because I think that he really loves their styling and their concepts and their music. Like, I think that their sound specifically, Sylus is very much a big fan.
I have crafted sort of some backstory here. So everything that I have learned about Sylus would point me to, he doesn't listen to anything other than like ancient organ music, like, you know, like a pipe organ and like classical music, because he's very big into like his record collection and all that sort of stuff. So I actually don't think that Sylus listens to much music outside of like instrumental music ever. However, I think MC roped him into watching K-pop Demon Hunters, and so his favorite group is the Sajid Boys. Specifically Jinu, because he's like, I am a demon, basically, and he sees himself as that sort of like dark villain, and so he's like, yeah, okay, I didn't really know much about K-pop, but I'm loving K-pop Demon Hunters. And so it's, you know, kind of silly, because he couldn't name a single other K-pop group. Couldn't do it, but he knows about K-pop Demon Hunters, he knows about the Sajid Boys. So that's kind of the lore that I
think that was really smart.
Or he's like, Gangnam Style. Like, he's like that kind of, you know, so that's kind of the vibe I get from Sylus.
Oh, that's
he's like a grandpa.
Yeah, okay. That was very thoughtful. Oh, I did also forget to say that I think that Chris would be his bias because I think that Sylus would really respect his leader qualities. I think that Sylus would see a lot of himself as the leader of Anakindness.
That's another thing. I don't think he has any time to like get down with K-pop. He's too busy being the leader of Anakindness.
Okay.
So he has movie night time.
Okay.
With MC.
Okay. I do think that Silas's favorite song would be Creed off of the most recent comeback because I think that, first of all, he's listening to it when he's working out and it's really hyping him up. Me too, Sylus. But also, I think that the message of it would really resonate with Sylus. I think that he has a creed that he also lives by. And I think that that has been something that's like carried him through his life and like up to the point of becoming the leader of Anakindness. So I think that he would really love Creed. Again, with this kind of story I've created, Free, because that's how he feels with main character. Oh, so, shut up! Yeah. He and MC are literally Gino and Booney, so. That's cute. Okay, I really like the way that you took his. Very good. I do think, similarly to how SJ just said that she feels that, I think we might have the same answer here. How Sylus feels like he resonates with Jinu as a demon. I do think that his favorite drama is My Demon. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull that off. My Demon? I put My Demon because I do think that this would be something that like, once he watched K-pop Demon Hunters, MC was like that. I love this. Yeah. I do think that he would also appreciate the comedic theme that Guan's
sort
character
of like
has.
Sarcasm.
Yes, like he is a demon, but he's like kind of funny about it, and I think that he would really enjoy that. Also, you can't see it maybe, but he's also watching K-pop Demon Hunters. That's a guilty pleasure.
And I guarantee you, everything that I own, that Caleb is also going to be guilty pleasuring that. I think it's very funny how similar all of our answers are.
I know. I mean, to be fair, we do listen to most of the same groups and we've watched most of the same stuff together, so there was probably going to be a lot of overlap, but...
Not this much, but this is insane.
I mean, this is actually very funny, like that we gave specific dramas to the same character in multiple occasions in like the same group, so that, never beating the twin allegations.
No, we share one brain cell.
Pass it back and forth between the two of us.
Yep.
I definitely think that Caleb's favorite group is Idol, and I think that his bias is leader Soyeon.
Okay. Caleb for me is very like old school. He feels very like nostalgic about things. Because if you think about the ages that they're supposed to be in the game, I think that he would be an OG BTS army. I think that he would have gotten into K-pop around the time that like it was really kind of taking off, and he would have been in on the ground floor of BTS. Also, I think it's kind of funny because it's like, again, another kind of like with Xavier, he's like double entendre with like crown and, you know, he's like a prince. Army in the army. You know what I'm saying? Like far space fleet,
yes.
like captain, army.
Okay.
I just think it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
He and Namjoon would be like, I don't know, they're soulmates, not on like a romantic thing.
Platonic soulmates.
Yeah. But he also really likes August B.
Mm.
Music-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Suga, he loves Suga, but like music-wise, August B. He has like two vibes. It's either like BTS, August B.
I do think that Caleb's favorite idol song is Revenge because he supports women's rights and women's wrongs. But I do also think that he is jamming to Wife and Queen card when no one else is around.
I think that Spring Day is his go-to because this song feels very light, romantic, but then also kind of, again, like nostalgic in a way, almost like nostalgic for something that you can't quite like get back.
Anamoya.
There was only one correct answer for this.
Oh god, okay, well I think that Caleb's favorite drama is Love Next Door because of his childhood friends.
Correct!
Friends to Lovers arc with MC.
Yeah. That is correct. Because you could argue that like Explosive Fairy Tale is also Friends to Lovers, but not in the same way that Love Next Door is. Love Next Door is the ultimate like Friends to Lovers for adults, because you know, Explosive Fairy Tale is good,
it's a little,
but like they're kids for most of it, so.
Also, Caleb is watching K-pop Demon Hunters as a guilty pleasure.
$100.
All of them are watching K-pop Demon Hunters as a guilty pleasure. Favorite pastime, don't know what to put on, need a comforting background sound, is going to be K-pop Demon Hunters for all of them. Argue with the wall. This was very fun. I'm livid.
How many were the same? This was exactly the same. This was exactly the same. That's 2, 3, 4. We have 4. I mean, there's what? 15.
Almost a third of ours were completely identical, which I feel like is still very high for the number of squares and like possible combinations that you could have had here. That's funny to me.
I do think that like we were on the same page here.
Yes.
Like with Rafayel.
I think
this was much more fun than I thought. You should do this with your friends. If you are into both of these things, I would highly recommend trying to see what your opinions are on this.
This would also...
And also, I would love to know if anyone out there plays Love and Deepspace and is into anything with, you know, K-pop or K-drama or K-culture, what you think that the Love and Deepspace lads characters would be into. That I would love to see. So drop that in the
comments. Let us know. I think this would also make a really fun like PowerPoint night with your friends.
Yes.
You could make entire presentations about your arguments behind these, and you could include like more visuals.
Oh, and you could even turn it into a game where everyone gets gems, you know, and you like give gems to whoever you think is like more correct about something, and then at the end of the night, whoever has the most gems, people have to like Venmo them to buy gems or buy a pack or something. That would be so fun.
That'd be cute. I don't think this will be the last video that we make on Rara's K-pop Spot, taking lads and my love for K-pop and merging them into one thing. I think you mentioned it as well, like what do you think their biases evol would be? You know, kind of giving idols evols. Like what do you think their evol would be if they had one?
Like if Momo had an evol, what would it be?
Yeah.
If Namjoon had an evol, what would it be?
The possibilities are endless here. When you have a niche special interest and you are nerding out to the max, the possibilities are endless. Okay, we have moved to the window because sitting like that was getting real uncomfortable, but that is it for today's video.
I hope you enjoyed. It's always a pleasure to be a guest here on Rara's K-pop Spot, so thank you for having me.
Thank you for participating with me on such short notice. We literally came up with this idea yesterday while we were grocery shopping. And
I also was the artistic creative director.
I was gonna say thank you. We went to the Dollar Tree this morning to buy all of this stuff for the poster, and SJ did the whole thing, so thank you. This would not have been possible without SJ.
I'm a gender-bended Rafayel.
Yeah. And I'm really glad that we have so many overlapping special interests.
She got me into K-pop, I got her into Love and Deepspace.
Yes. So it's always fun when you have someone to talk about your special interests with. It's even better when they're your sister and you live together. So thank you all for watching to the end. If you are still here, like we said, let us know in the comments what your matches and pairings would be. And please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Did I say everything I needed to say? Onaru no kikachi.
Annyeong!
We can go to bloopers now. Thank you for watching.
봐주셔서 감사합니다.
That was pretty good.
주셔서.
봐주셔서.
봐주셔서. That one's hard.
봐주셔서
감사합니다. 안녕 친구들.
이제 블루퍼리로 이동할 수 있습니다. 즐기세요. Please see the first instance when I referenced it, or maybe I'll put it over here. Rara.
If I have to like lean, engage your core.
I also have a weird head shape. It was really emphasized when I was looking from the side. I was like, wow, that's a weird looking head shape. Mom, did I not get enough tummy time? I wonder about that. Yeah.
More satisfying. Why did I say it like that?
More satisfying. You don't. Hey, don't do that. Say goodbye to Hello.
Zebra is showing me. I think we need to be
We need to
studied
spend
by
more time
science.
apart.
He's shaking it to love. What?
Sylus. Anamoya. Yeah, okay, that's right. Anamoya. My butt hurts, so let's sign off in the window.
Yes.
Do you know the blooper one?
Blooperilo. Girl, in your dreams.